Heyo, now I got a video for you. Hopefully that's more entertaining. Oh, you can't see it. I'm gonna be making 2 sets of dice. Yay! Safety, safety, safety. When you're making dice, don't ever skip out on the safety. It is extremely important.
Now let's get to work.
Silicone sets are honestly really good. They really help with reducing bubbles and making sure nothing sticks unnecessarily. Now I'm going to measure each resin, A and B. At first I did use these, but I just like measuring them using the actual measuring cup. It's just faster. I do make sure to try to be as careful as I can, because if I spill it, it's just going to stay there. It's not going to dry up. It's not going to go away. It's going to stay there. Unless I mix them together, then it's going to stay there till I rip it up, which I do not want to wait for or anything, so I have to be careful. As careful as I can be. Now when they're equally measured out, you just grab them, put them into a place thingy like this, and mix. Mix for at least like 3 to 5 minutes, just so that way when it comes out, it is very, sturdy and hard, not rubbery or bad in general. Just make sure you mix really well if you're going to do this. It's very, very imperative you mix well. Otherwise, no matter how pretty or cool the dice turn out, you are going to have very rubbery sort of dice. What I'm doing right now is just pouring a bit extra. For a full set, I need like around 45 on the measuring cup to get a full set with maybe like a tiny bit left over. So around 40-ish, just to be safe. Now we stir. We stir slowly, which I can be a bit impatient with, but just slowly. I also do take time during the after pouring, like 5 minutes, just sitting there, grabbing a lighter and putting it to the resin, making sure to get rid of all the surface bubbles, and then waiting for more to surface if they do, and then just again lighter to it, just to reduce as much bubbling as possible. I don't care if I make clear dice, which I'm going to, because hopefully I can make my dice mold soon. I don't care about bubbles inside. I actually like it. I think it builds, like, it has character. But yeah, voids are what I'm trying to escape, especially when you actually add the paint. You can have the most beautiful dice you've ever made in a set, but if there are tiny voids and you try to put a bit of paint on and wipe it away, it's genuinely just going to ruin it. I mean, you can try and sand them away as much as possible, but without a pressure pot or Zona papers, you're pretty screwed, honestly. Now, I feel like I wasted a bit too much materials doing this, but I'm just putting mica powder in this little extra resin cup I was using. So I pour high and slowly to reduce bubbling, of course, and so that way there's not as much, void as possible, because while you're mixing, air bubbles can go into the mold. So you just pour high, slowly, so it's very thin, and it plops down and just pops. It's very good strategy in my opinion. I would say if you are making dice, even if you have a pressure pot, to use bubble reducing techniques, as it just overall helps with quality. Now I use a disposable syringe to suck up some of that resin with the mica powder in it, so that way I can do an insert. But it didn't turn out as well as I thought. I was scared inserting it. I was worried, oh no, it's going to be too much air and too much bubbles and blah blah blah. Oh no, I don't want to pour too much and waste it, or I gotta be careful, otherwise when I let go of it, it's just going to suck up the resin anyways, which it did. It did get sucked up a little bit. But all in all, if I ever do a insert again, which I really do like the idea, I like it, I just have to be more bold and confident with it rather than so scared like I was during this. It really was pretty bad. Now we move this aside and get ready to do our next pour, which is a split pour, which I want to do another galaxy spacey type of theme to it, which I've done before. This video is pretty old. It's been in my files for a while. So I did another one. While pouring, I was really scared, honestly. I didn't want to imbalance the colors or whatever. So it all just came rushing out, and I was really scared. I didn't have time to do it high or slow. This was my first time ever using the split cups, so I was really worried about how they would turn out. But yeah, I was clearly not satisfied with how I did. But putting it away, which I probably shouldn't have taken my gloves off just yet, but it was really hot. I just couldn't handle it. I had a lot of leftover resin, so I just did this letter mold, I guess. And now I'm cleaning. Cleaning is good because you get clean and then you get to use it again, so that because then it's, So it's just as simple as warm water, warm soapy water. Then you just grab a paper towel and run it across all your stuff. It's really that simple. Just clean it out. Just clean it out so you can reuse it. You can wait for it to dry. Of course, some of the measuring cups that I used won't dry since I didn't mix it, which is why I stopped using those tiny measuring thingies and just poured it all into the actual measuring cup. Because that way, hey, I don't feel like cleaning this, doing this. Okay? Just let it dry and then spank all the resin out. And then, rinse out whatever crust is left. It's really that simple. Now I'm just finishing up cleaning everything a bit. I'm just cleaning. I really like the way these turned out. They reminded me of a warlock, some sort of eldritch being or something. They were really pretty, and I really like the little little silver flakes and them popping out here and there. There were a bit of voids, but nothing I'm too upset about. I was really scared, and it really sucks how some of these turned out, but I do like how in certain angles, it makes it all seem so, I don't know, so runny and whatnot. It's really beautiful. I really like this set.